Right, we're back on it again, back on it. Nothing's going to hold us back. So we're cracking on regardless. As you can see, we've made a right mess inside. But, you know, at this rate, I figured I'm never going to work on the inside, so it doesn't matter. I can just leave the crap in there. So what have I done then? I've filled all of the corners. Then, so this one, as you can see, this one up here, as you can see as well, and over here as well. This one's done as well. So, so we cut all of the rust out, welded the plates on, and then I've filled them back in. I've sat the screen on top, so just sat the screen in the hole, and it matches up pretty good all of the way around, to be fair. So I think the line's good. I used this to sort of gauge my angles, if you see what I mean. So you can see, you know, it's pretty good, and it's pretty good all of the way around. So that is done so far as I'm concerned at the moment. Anyway, now I haven't got the seal, the new seal yet. I'm waiting for that to turn up. So what I'd quite like to do is just sit the seal in, and just to see how it sits before I actually put any paint around the front end. However, I don't know whether I'll be able to wait for that long. You know what I'm like, I'm a bit impatient when it comes to things like this, so I might paint it and just hope for the best. So, painting is causing me a problem. First off, let's have a look at the screen and the issues with paint. Where it was painted with the screen in at some point or other, you can see I had a paint mark all the way up here, and it was rough. You know what I mean? There was a big. I've had to sand it down. Now the problem this has caused is obviously with the new seal, I'm going to have an issue all of the way round this. Then worse at the top on the roof. There's the roof. Look, worse on the roof. So I've had to rub away the paint. So I'm going to have to come up with a solution to this that doesn't look too bad. Up here, obviously, I've got to paint all of this again, and this is orange, which is a right pain in the ass because I'm having a colour match problem with my orange, as you know. But we're just going to have to do what we can do with it and see if we can sort of blend it in down this pillar a little bit. Okay, so that we're going to do. We're not going to do that at the minute. Like I say, I'm going to wait until the seal gets here before I worry too much about the front screen. So let me explain my idea with the colour then. I want something to... I love the orange. It suits the bus perfectly, as you know. Or I think it does anyway. But I think it's a bit too much. So I just want something to break it up just a little bit. And so I'm going to put some cream on here as well. So my idea, what I'm going to do, I'm going to... On the front, it's just this wedge here that I'm going to do with cream. The rest of it is going to remain orange. And down the sides then, so if you imagine down the sides here, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do the window cavities, because what I really want is this bit that goes around this rear vent. You see I've got a lovely line around here. So I just want to do the inside of this in cream, which means moving forward, if you follow the lines then, what that basically means is all the way down the sides, the cream is only going to come down to this line here and go up to, it's a bit dark to see this, isn't it? Only going to go up to that line there. So when the windows are back in, you won't actually see very much of it at all, but I'm hoping that it's be enough just to break up the orange a little bit. Okay, you don't see many sort of done in this manner, and I can understand why. Most of the ones you see that are multicoloured, they take it from this line up. You know, so on the side they'll take it from this line going upwards. So half of it is cream, half of it is orange. Now, I can understand that, because if you think about it, what I'm going to do, I'm going to... Hold on, let's have a bit of tape. Imagine what I'm going to do. I'm going to tape off like this. So my paint I'm putting on is going to be on an outside edge. So I am going to end up with a contour change here, because the paint I'm sticking on is going to stick out a bit further on an outside edge, so it will really show. I think I'm hoping the effect will be okay, but obviously it won't be, because I don't have the skills, and I'm doing it in the garage to blend that in, so you don't see an edge to the paint, if you see it, or you don't feel an edge to the paint, more to the point, I guess. So like I say, I can understand why you take it to an outside edge if you were going to do something like that, because it makes, or rather internal one, because it makes much more sense, doesn't it? But this isn't about making sense, is it? This is just about doing what you want to do. So that's our plan. That's what we're going to do. I went down to Halfords and I just picked the creamiest paint that I could see in there, and it happens to be Ford Ivory, this one. So this is what we're going to do it in. Okay. Bear in mind there won't be that much on it. I've only bought a couple of cans of this to start with. I don't know how far that'll go. We'll have to see. Because if you think about it, it's not actually that much paint that we've got to do. There's a lot of work to it, isn't there? Okay, so what I'm going to do this evening then, I'm going to try and tape up some lines on this. I'm going to then spray it with some filler primer. I've got to take the mirrors off, get them out of the way. I'm not going to take these quarter lights out. They've got a lot of overspray on the sills, which I've got to get rid of, because obviously if it's cream, the orange overspray is going to look absolutely dreadful. But, I'll try and remove the overspray, and I'm just going to tape up around these rubbers, these front rubbers. Everything else has been removed, as you can see. Okay, so I'll see you in a minute when I've got it all taped up, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Front screen, we're going to leave the front screen as it is for the minute, I think. What is really exciting here, and this is fantastic, I found a bit of my bus that doesn't have any rust. Unbelievable. Look, nothing. Well, good evening again. Let me show you what we're doing. Good or bad, I don't know. So the bloody windscreen sill's got lost in transit somewhere, and I don't want to put any paint around the front of this at all until I know that the sill's going to sit okay. So that's going to have to wait. So I decided what I'm going to do. I'm going to do side by side. So I'm going to do one side first completely, and then any mistakes I learn on it I can apply to the other side. So I started over here, and I've completely taped off all of the bit that I want to paint, as you can see. Okay, and it's had a couple of coats of primer on there, and I've now got quite a few coats of the colour that we're going with. What was it? Ivory white, Ford Ivory White or something like that, wasn't it? It was called. And it's going on pretty well, actually, to be fair. I only bought 2 tins. So I've still got a bit in there, so I'm just letting this is just sort of drying off again. I'm just going to give this, if you think about it, it's actually not that much bodywork to paint, is it? It's all little bits, if you see what I mean. So I'm managing to get quite a few coats on there. I'm going to use up 2 cans on this, I've decided, on this one side. And I think that'll be plenty of paint. Oh, and then we're going to see, what it actually looks like. See if it was worth all the effort. I can't tell you how long this actually took to mask up. Bloody hell. But yeah, it's quite exciting at the minute, isn't it? It's quite exciting. So I'll come back to you when all of the paint's on that I'm going to put on it. Are you there? You're there? Good. Okay, so this is where we are. I've painted it all. I've given it all the paint it's going to get on this side, and it's come up really nice, actually. I've got to go over it all with teacup, as well. So I need some clean rags really, because I've only got dirty old rags. So I'm going to wait till I get some good rags. Go over it with T-cut and polish it all up and see how it comes up. Okay, I haven't taken the paper off this yet. I'm going to leave that because I don't know yet. I haven't made up my mind. But she's done. Now then, if you look every here and there, so can we zoom in? Now there you go. You can see it quite well there. Focus camera, focus. It's a bit sort of feathery in places. Now a bit of it is glue from the masking tape and a little bit is tiny little bits of overspray. But T-cut, a good rub with T-cut and it gets rid of all of that. So I'll end up with a nice line on here, all the way along, all the way around. Okay, so that's a bit of work that we've got to do. We're going to do that later on. What I have been doing, oh, I haven't got a torch, so it's really dark. So up here, remember we had that rust up here, didn't we? So I filled it all, and then I've had to go over the orange first, because obviously the cream's only going to come down here, and I did go over a little bit where I was filling it and rubbing it down. So I've had to do the orange first, so I've given it a couple of really good coats of orange and it's come up lovely actually. I bought some, what did I buy? Oh, I can't find it now, it's around somewhere. I bought some Halford's paint actually in the brilliant orange that this is supposed to be, and I think it comes out of the can a little bit different than the paint that I've been using. It's less misty when it comes out and you can actually get a better coat from it, like a thicker coat. More glossy coat. Yeah, so what I've done then, I've just taped it up here. I haven't sprayed right to the edge, and the same down at the other end as well. So I'm going to try and T-cutting this back in now. So we're going to take this paper off and try T-cutting this back and seeing if I can get this sort of blended in quite nicely, because it's still, you know, it's still going to be a colour match problem. Okay, so we're going to do that. Polish this off and then I'm going to paint the cream on this side. That's my plan, that's my job for the evening, try and get some of the cream on this side. Rightio, I'll see you in a minute. Right then, so it's getting very, very late now, but I've got a good couple of coats on this, and I'm going to give it another couple of coats tonight before I go to bed, so it'll all be done. And now I have found, you see, now you live and learn all of the time, don't you? I said about the paint, about the orange paint from Halford's going on better than the one that I had. And I've found that you get a much better shine if you get a lot of paint on in one go. Now the only problem is you're obviously risking the chance of it running. And it's sort of like I'm finding it, I haven't got any runs, which is good. But I'm finding it like a bit of a teetering edge. Getting as much paint as possible in one go and praying that it doesn't actually run. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. Okay, I'm warbling now, aren't I? I'm just going on and on and on. That's because it's late and I'm tired. Let's do a bit of spraying. Let's see if we can video some spraying. You wait, it will go belly up now. I've also found that spraying in the dark helps as well, so it's very dark down this side of the bus. And it looks great, the paint looks fantastic. I dread to think what it's going to look like when we get out in the cold light of day. But you know, you don't know until you try it, do you? Okay, so, where are you? You're there. Now this is going to be painful, this, because I can't do it and look through the phone, so you'll probably be videoing nothing. But what I'm doing then is just getting lots of paint on in one go. Now that is going to have a lovely shine. Provided it doesn't run. you know what I've done? Because I'm talking to you, I've forgotten to put my bloody mask on. I'm going to have to stop talking and put my mask on. Okay, we've just had a bit of success, which is a right result. So I'm going to post this video, even though we're a long way from finishing this bit. So we're still waiting on the seal, as I said. I'm hoping that it's going to turn up. I really am. But we'll find out next week, won't we? So, painting. We did all of this painting, didn't we? And look at this then. So I've got this window back in. Believe me, that was a fight and a half. The seal was about 2 inches too short to start with. It's taken a lot of manipulation to get it sitting just right, but it has, and it's great. I'll show you when I do the other side. I'll show you how I did it, just in case. You never know, it might be interesting. Might be interesting to someone who's struggling to do the same thing. However, remember our rust we had at the top of the window? Look at that. Oh, it's beautiful. That's a big job done, that is, for me, I think. And it's turned out pretty well, I think. Obviously, with the cream, right, so you can see it's kind of where it's going to go to. It looks very white in this light, doesn't it? It's actually very cream. Again, we're going to have to get it outside and see what it actually looks like, to see if it's enough. But, you know, with that, we'll worry about that. I'm hoping that it will be. It's just enough to break up the orange, really. That was the idea of it. It's my baby. Look at that. It's got a window in. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to do anything else now, because I'm in a state of euphoria. Look at that. I'm in a state of euphoria for getting that part of the bust done. That's a big step on getting the outside crappy bodywork doing. Well, you know, I say crappy bodywork. I have actually really enjoyed this bit. I can't lie to you. Okay, so there you are. I'm going to post this just so you can share in my happiness, and I will. I'll come back to you. I'll do a bit of video when I fit the other window, just so you can see how. Because the seals, trying to get the inner. Where's the inner? You see the inner joining there. Trying to get that the right length, and trying to get this the right length was a bit of a palaver, believe me. But it's done. It's done. Let's go and watch some telly and have a cup of tea and smile loads.